Hello. Fair housing rules related to emotional support animals (ESAs) are designed to protect individuals with disabilities who rely on these animals for emotional support or therapeutic benefits. These rules primarily fall under the Fair Housing Act (FHA) and the Americans with Disabilities Act (ADA). Here are some key points to understand about fair housing rules related to emotional support animals. Definition of disability: to qualify for protections under the Fair Housing Act, an individual must have a disability as defined by the law. A disability is a physical or mental impairment that substantially limits one or more major life activities. Reasonable accommodation: under the Fair Housing Act, individuals with disabilities have the right to request a reasonable accommodation to their housing policies or rules to allow them to keep an emotional support animal, even if the property has a no-pets policy. Landlords are generally required to grant such requests unless they can demonstrate that doing so would impose an undue financial or administrative burden, or it would fundamentally alter the nature of the housing. Documentation: while landlords can request documentation to verify the disability and need for an emotional support animal, they cannot ask for details about the individual's disability or demand access to their medical records. Typically, a letter from a healthcare professional is sufficient as documentation. No pet fees or deposits: landlords cannot charge pet fees or pet deposits for emotional support animals, as they are not considered pets under the Fair Housing Act. Breed or size restrictions: housing providers must make reasonable accommodations regarding breed or size restrictions when it comes to emotional support animals. They cannot enforce breed-specific bans or size limits if they would interfere with the individual's ability to use and enjoy their housing. Public accommodations: emotional support animals are not considered service animals under the ADA. Therefore, the rules governing them are specific to Housing, Fair Housing Act, and differ from those for service animals in public places, ADA. Misrepresentation: misrepresenting a pet as an emotional support animal or disability status to gain housing privileges can have legal consequences. It's important to note that these rules can vary at the state and local levels, and some states may have additional protections or requirements. Additionally, the legal landscape may evolve over time, so it's essential to consult with a legal expert or familiarize yourself with the most current regulations if you have questions or concerns about emotional support animals in housing situations.